The 2022 New York Mets have had a first half to remember. The team is 58-35, which gives them the best record in the NL East by 2.5 games, and also essentially gives them an 8-game buffer over the last wildcard spot. The Mets are well on track to be playing meaningful second half games and also likely playoff games. But the real story of this team is the adversity that they have overcome to get to this point in the season with such a good record. Max Scherzer led the charge for the New York Mets, filling in the role of ace perfectly, which makes sense because he's one of the best pitchers of his generation. Now, Max has been great when available for the Mets this year, but that has been the problem. He too also got hurt. So despite posting a lot of these gaudy stats, he was not available for 5 weeks of the season. So how did the Mets manage to be 23 games over 500 when missing the number 1 pitcher in baseball for 3 months and arguably the number 2 pitcher in baseball for another month as well? Well, the answer is simple. The rest of the supporting cast has been great. Taiwan Walker has been crucial in stabilizing the top end of the Mets rotation in the absence of Mad Max. He almost replicated his all-star numbers from his first year with the Mets in the first half, having another outstanding start to the season. He really came through, going above and beyond what the rest of the starting pitchers did, including Carlos Carrasco, who's had a decent first half, and Chris Bassett, who has done the innings eating for the Mets that they needed. Now, Tyler Mcgill got a lot of the early attention because of how well he pitched before he also got hurt, but Taiwan Walker has been the most consistent pitcher on this Mets staff so far this season. And while Walker provided that consistency at the top of the starting rotation, David Peterson becoming a great, consistent fifth pitcher for the New York Mets over his last 7 starts has been crucial for the team's success. He has been locking it down, providing quality innings for the Mets, which has helped them stabilize and maintain their lead over the past month while the Braves were surging. And while the rest of the starting rotation did a great job in helping this team stay afloat in the absence of both Max Scherzer and Jacob deGrom, another big reason why this team is in the position they are in is because the lineup consistently came through with runs, timely hitting, and big performances and big moments from their star players. Leading off with outfield free agent signing Starling Marte. Marte has been great for the Mets despite a couple of bad cold streaks and a couple of minor injuries. He has been very impactful, especially when hot. Marte is on pace for over a run created a game. That is huge for the team, especially at the top end of the lineup. He's also played great defense out in right field, making a quick transition to his new home out there. Another player that's been crucial to this team's success is a guy that has become a fan favorite amongst Met fans over the last few years, Jeff McNeil. While his stats aren't as good, he's still having a hell of a year, and like Marte, he is on the All-Star team in California right now. McNeill has provided the Mets a consistent bat with putting the ball back in play, which is his game and what he should be focusing on versus the all-or-nothing approach he had at times the past couple of years. And he's also been providing lineup flexibility as he can play left field, right field, second base, occasionally third base as well. He has kept the line moving, so while he hasn't gotten as many RBIs or runs from a guy that would be in the All-Star game, he has been extremely important in starting and continuing rallies, which is all you can ask for and all you want for out of a guy like him. He has been a perfect fit, and he's bounced back nicely after last year. The third and final Mets batter to make the All-Star team was first baseman Pete Alonso. Pete has been great all year long. He has driven in the most runs in Mets franchise history for the All-Star break with a number of 75 ribeye steaks. He has been excellent all year long in clutch situations for the Mets.
And Alonso cracks one, and the Mets win the ball game. Out of sight.
With runners in scoring position, he's 15 points higher on the batting average. He's got a 1050 plus OPS in these situations and 10 home runs. He's been getting the job done, whether it's taking walks when getting nothing to hit, driving balls into the gap, slapping base hits the other way, or hitting moonshots like we're used to him doing. Pete has been widely available for the Mets all year long. He's been there every day. He's been a leader in the clubhouse, and he's been excellent on the field. Francisco Lindor has been another leader. While he's not having the best year of his career from an average standpoint or an OPS standpoint, looking at his numbers, it's just undeniable how big he has been for the New York Mets. When you tack in the fact that he plays Gold Glove caliber shortstop and you look at it, he's on pace to have a chance at a 30 home run, 120 RBI, 20 stolen base, and 100 runs scored seasons. That would be over 200 runs created. I don't know what else you can expect from a player. So what? He's currently batting around 250 and he's got around a 750 OPS. If he keeps up what he's doing and he hits that many home runs, who cares if his OPS is 770? Where else are you going to find 30 home runs, 200 runs created, and that kind of level of defense out of the shortstop hole? He has the ability to get on base in front of Alonso in situations where he has to keep the rally moving, and when the pitchers make mistakes to him, making them pay for it. That is why he has the RBI totals and the run totals he has on the season. Anecdotally, too, he has been great in big spots for this team, as he single-handedly won them Game 3 in the crucial Brave series before the All-Star game when they went in looking to be dead in the water and about to be passed. Lindor, Nimmo, and Luis were the big reasons why they won that series, along with a great performance by Max Scherzer and Edwin Diaz in the first game. And while you need the stars to play well to have a good season, you need the supporting cast, the unsung heroes, to also be great to have a fantastic year, a year like the Mets are currently having. Let's start off with Brandon Nimmo, the leadoff hitter. He has become a plus defender in center field, something I thought would never happen for him in his career with the Mets, especially playing in Citi Field. He has been excellent for the Mets for what they've needed. Another guy that has filled in nicely and done very similar to what Nimmo has done on the offensive side is Canha. Canha is constantly having good at-bats, working the count. His power has been a little bit down. I'm sure the Mets would have liked him to have some more extra base hits, but he's been a really solid fielder out in left field. He has really helped stabilize the back end of the lineup. He's constantly having good at-bats, whether he's batting 5, 6, or 7. Canha has been pretty much what the Mets wanted to out of the signing, and for what this team needs, he's been more than enough to help them get to this point. Adam Ottavino has done a great job, especially in the last month when the bullpen's been very, very shaky due to injury depth, in making sure Edwin Diaz has the chance to pitch the 9th inning with a lead because of his appearances in the 7th and 8th. And also Chris Bassett has done a great job of eating innings. Him and Carlos Carrasco have been doing a good job of staying competitive in the games they've pitched, but Bassett's just been better than him. That's why I'm giving him the nod. But we have to take a moment and acknowledge how crucial Luis has been for this team on his own, away from the other X factors. He has been tremendous. He's playing more than he's ever played, but on a good team too. This isn't like he's getting garbage time reps. He's playing in meaningful games. He's having crucial at-bats. That home run he hit against the Braves was a massive moment in that game. You thought the Braves were stealing the momentum back, that the Mets were going to be susceptible in the bullpen in the 8th inning, and he just comes out and hits a nuke that completely changes the complexion of that game and really cements the Mets lead the rest of the way there. He's so much better than the stats. You can't post the stats because it doesn't do him justice. I think moving forward, there's going to be a utility spot in the All-Star game for a guy like him, and it's going to be because of this season he's having this year and Buck Showalter bringing it up. Edwin Diaz, I'll admit when I'm wrong. I thought he was never going to be average, let alone good in New York. He has been the most dominant relief pitcher I have ever seen in my 30 years of watching New York Met baseball. He has been ridiculous in save situations, striking out over half the batter he's faced. This is something that you dream of as a Met fan, knowing the history of their team. They've always had some decent relievers. John Franco was really good. Benitez had his moments. Billy Wagner was solid in 06. You had McGraw back in the day. Carrasco was also great. But in the last 20 years of this team, there is no one who has pitched near the level of what Edwin Diaz has done. He is embarrassing major league batters. If he was anything less than borderline perfect the entire season, the Mets would not be in first place right now. It has been a great job by Edwin Diaz, and I am so glad that I was wrong about my earlier judgments off of him based on the first 2 seasons he had here. Edwin has been fantastic this year, and he is saving the Mets. So for an overall grade of what the Mets have done so far to this point in the season, it is impossible to give them less than an A-. They have been excellent. Had you told me before the year started that at the All-Star game, the Mets would not have Jacob deGrom throw a single pitch, and that Max Scherzer would miss a month, and that the Braves would have over 50 wins, I would have thought you were crazy if you told me they were in first place. Instead, here we are. They have a winning record against the Braves. They've dominated the division all year long, and they have an 8.5 game lead over the last wildcard spot. The Mets have had a fantastic first half, and we were going to look to see them build on this in the second half. This could be a very special year for the team. So if you've enjoyed this, you're a Met fan, you like seeing stuff like this, breakdowns, we're going to be constantly pumping out Met content moving forward on this channel. So make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I'll see you guys in the next one.